This is the Citizens Budget Review Committee report. This is a required report from the bylaws on the proposed fiscal year 2018 budget. The CBRC appreciates the work of the county and social administrations for putting together the budgets. We only have 3 items on our agenda. We divided up the county budget and we came up with a few recommendations. The school budget discussion later in this presentation is informational in nature only. First thing we're going to cover is the aircraft museum that's in the budget. It's on page 254, and it uses tourism dollars. The aircraft museum is being set up by a private individual at the Shannon Airport, which is a private airport in the county. This is some of the history that was looked up on the airport. Apparently the aircraft that are involved were originally collected by Mr. Shannon starting around 1976. After he died, the museum closed in Shannon Airport. Those 12 aircraft were then sent to the Richmond, Virginia Aviation Museum, which has recently closed. The budget in the includes $50,000 for the aircraft museum, and it's our understanding as well that there's also a memorandum of understanding that's required. There are some concerns, though, with expenditure of these tourism dollars for the museum. The Richmond Museum only had 13,000 visitors in its final year. This is in a region with a much higher population than we do. Museums tend to be revenue negative, especially aircraft museums, because the upkeep of old aircraft is expensive. Usually the older aircraft have varnishes and other such things which require a lot of maintenance to ensure that they retain their function and their preservative qualities. Making this more difficult is that Spotsylvania isn't known for aircraft. We're known for Civil War battlefields, we're known for historical landmarks, aircraft isn't one of them. In addition, both of the Air and Space Museums are about an hour north, further reducing the likelihood of tourists coming to a museum in the county. There's also concern about funding private entities with public funds. This is kind of a policy type concern, but it's very easy to see this becoming a handout requirement or something along those lines. The CBRC, after discussion, recommended that the funding be removed and used for other tourist opportunities that are likely to draw a better return for those investments.
Thank you.
Are there any, Mr. Skinner?
Yes. Thank you. Jeremiah, let me ask you some people that sat on the board that did this. How many of them are aviators?
None of them are aviators. I am the sole aerospace engineer on the team.
You're an aerospace engineer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you know how to build airplanes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many of those people realized that Eastern Airline was actually started here in Spotsylvania County?
This is the first I've heard of it.
Thank you. And let me ask you this. How many of the board members have ever been over to the museum to see it?
Is the museum open, sir? I was under the impression it was not open yet.
Was anybody else on the member there? Were you given the history of each aircraft that went behind there?
No, sir.
And do you think that Civil War is the only thing that we should advertise that we're famous for here in Spotsylvania? Because aviation has played a major part in a lot of wars. And so my point is, first of all, none of the money that we're getting, that's strictly for maintenance, not of the aircraft. The owners or the foundation will maintain the aircraft itself out of donations and private money, okay? It's not. That is just to maintain that building, which was required by us to do by the Virginia Aviation Society down there for us to get these airplanes